Hello YouTube, welcome back to the ATSF Wild Subdivision. It's been a while since I've done a layout update. I'm going to just walk you around the layout. It's going to be basically unedited, and I must apologize for the poor lighting conditions, but it is what it is. So hopefully you can see something, hopefully you understand what I got going on. So without any more ado, off to the layout we go. We're going to start on our way down to the basement. Basement's a mess, so forgive me, but we'll get through this. Oh, copyright. Alexa, stop! So we have been working down here. I've been working on drywall mud. I've been working on ceiling. You can see I've got ceiling tiles way back into the corner back there. I've got more ceiling tiles when I get around. I got to deal with these coats. We come down around the end of the peninsula here, which is a gigantic mess at the moment. That's the staging level down there. Middle level not built. Upper level will be about where the box is sitting. So as you can see, maybe, if you notice, I've built a lot more switches and have started to install some of them. You see going back into the corner back there. I've also started putting track feeders in and have my DCC system hooked up again. Can't run trains very far, but I can run them. The track in the background is going to go through the wall and head towards the helix. The track in the foreground goes this direction, and it goes into this switch right here. This switch is kind of fancy looking, but it's actually fairly simple. It is basically two left-handed turnouts built on top of each other. So if you're coming from this direction, you go straight through or to the left. If you're coming from this direction, you go straight through or to the left. You cannot go from here to here. The main line through here is going to be this track, and it's going to go all the way to, it's going to be the outside track of all of those staging tracks. Here on my staging level, I'm going to be using some servos that are surface mounted as turnout machines. You see a couple of them there. They're just regular 5G, I think, 5G or 9G RC servos, and a little bit of aluminum channel that I cut to mount the servo onto and be able to mount the servo to the table. I've got several more to do, and I got more brackets to make. This top here is about the height of the layout, but is not any of what actually will be here. It's just a board that's sitting there. This next section is actual board. Nothing has been done on top of it yet, although there's track plans sitting on top of it. Along the back wall in here, there's going to be some town buildings. There's going to be a street in the front, which is going to have train going through it. It goes out and around the end here. I've started drawing in track lines out there. You can't really see them very well on the camera, but as you come into this section, which is filthy dirty, you'll notice that I actually have some cork laid. So this cork back here is actually glued in place. And I've started all the way out to this point right here. I haven't gone any further than that yet because this next board's not mounted in place yet. So And then this is the upper level. Haven't done anything at all on upper level yet. I have worked along ceiling tiles along this edge. Haven't done any drywall filling yet on that edge, but put a couple of lights into the ceiling tiles so I can give it a little bit more finished look. Down here you can see I've started to do some drywall filling. I also discovered that I covered up the heat vent, so that's what those big holes are. That's where my heat vent is on the ductwork. So get some heat back down here. And make my way around the end of the peninsula. I've started to finish the staging bench work here. It's getting a little bit more solid. It's not all screwed in place yet, but I'm getting there. And then across this space I'm gonna have to build a gate. I've done some work to try and figure out how I'm going to do it, but I haven't done it yet. Back in the corner, which you can't see, is where my electrical panel, my water heater, and my furnace are. So I have to have fairly easy access to them, so I'm going to have a gate here so that I can open it up. Unfortunately, that gate is going to be across all 3 levels, which means I have to build it in such a way to support all 3 levels. I've started bench work here. That's lower level and middle level underneath the piece of cardboard there. Upper level right now is only marked on the board behind those t-shirts. You can't even see it. Back into the dark hole here. Let me turn the light on. This is where layout used to be. I've cleaned most of this out. Not all of it. There's nothing on that wall now at the bottom. I will have to take some shelves out above. All the shelves at the very top will be able to stay there because I won't have any layout that high, which is good. I don't have to find new places for all that stuff, but everything that's below that will have to go somewhere. This storage cabinet's going to have to go somewhere that I haven't figured out yet. This corner is going to be my helix, which will be basically the full space in this corner from that wall all the way to that wall is going to be helix. It's going to be about a 40-inch diameter helix, give or take. So because of that, my workbench used to be there. It's now been moved, and sorry for the pan here, but here's my workbench. And as you can tell, it's a mess. I put some shelves up above it. I even put some drywall underneath the steps. Those are the steps up to the main floor of my house. I put a light up above it, which is not finished being wired in, so pay no attention to that. Underneath it, there's one of my storage bins. I also managed to acquire some stuff off of Facebook, and so I acquired these 2 little cabinets, which are nice storage for various things. They've got several projects in them. The weekend before Thanksgiving, I got the opportunity to go to a train show in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I came back with a few things. Here are some of my finds. So I got a bag of cars here, all Athearn box cars. Oh yes, and a Union Pacific caboose, because I have a big boy. I also purchased a couple of loads for open-top cars. I think the I-beams will probably end up on a flat car and the junk load in a gondola. I also picked up a couple of locomotives in Sioux Falls. I bought another RSD4 in Santa Fe zebra stripe. And I bought an Athearn Genesis Jeep, also in zebra stripe. Neither one of them has sound or DCC yet, but that is coming. So as everybody knows, December is Christmas. But for me, it's also my birthday. And Santa gave me a pair of F units, Athearn Genesis Santa Fe freight scheme. I also purchased a TCS motherboard and Tsunami Sound. TCS motherboard and Tsunami Sound decoders came from Iron Planet Hobbies. Thank you, Heath of Humanity Junction. And then I've got 2 sets of speakers, one for the A and one for the B, from Scale Sound Supply. And we'll be working on doing installation on them soon. That's about all I have for right now, so thanks for watching.